52, Surah Al Ahzaab, they were asked to be careful when they speak to mahram. Ya nisai nabi lastunna, O wives of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ka ahadim min nisai inis taqaytunna fala taqdana. You are not like any other woman. You observe taqwa, righteousness. And so do not be too soft in your speech, lest someone having disease in his heart should develop fancies about you, and do speak with appropriate words. So over here the wives of Prophet ﷺ asked that you need to become careful in your speech. When you speak to men, when you talk to men, then how do you have to be careful in your speech? Do not be too soft as if inviting for further conversation. No. Don't invite for further conversation. Do not be soft. It doesn't mean harsh and rude. No. It just means be straightforward, to the point. Focus on what you have to say and get that conversation over with. And this is something that we all need to look at when we interact with men, non-mahram I'm talking about. Whether they may be people in our class or people at our work, or they may be our teachers, even from where we learn, whether we go to masjid, wherever it may be, whoever it may be, our neighbors, how we speak to them. Are we too giggly with them? Are too soft with them? Are we talking to them as if we are talking to our husband? No way. Or our brother or children. We need to be careful over here. The wives of Prophet ﷺ are instructed, فَلَا تَقْدَانَ بِالْقَوْلِ, and the same and even more so goes for us, lest he is on whose heart is disease with coward, but speak with appropriate speech, meaning the person in whose heart is some fitna, some disease, alright? And every person suffers from some kind of disease in his heart, in that sense that every man is weak, right? Every man is weak, especially when it comes to women. He is weak. There is the weakness in his heart. So Allah says that such a person might covet, meaning he might desire, he might keep some expectation of you, right? So don't even allow that. How do you do that? By speaking correctly. وَقُلْنَا قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. How speak that which is good, speak that which is needed, which is essential, what is just enough, clear and precise. There is no need to be very friendly, very humorous, giggly, talking about one thing after the another. That is unnecessary. No. Be to the point, be clear, be concise, and be good, meaning you don't have to be harsh over there. قُلْنَا قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. What we learn over here is that a woman herself needs to put her guard on right, because sometimes we say, I'm covered, what else do I need to do? No, you cover yourself, you also guard your speech, your manner of interaction, your manner of engaging with the people of the opposite gender. You have to do that. Why? Because perhaps our speech will cause fitna in their heart of another person, and this could even be through the hijab and niqab. Even with the niqab, this can be. It's not enough to just to put a cover, but to put something on and speak very nicely to men as if you're joking to your own brother. No, it's not so. Even though you call them brother, but they are not your own brother, isn't it? Now you have to be careful. And by the way, yes, they are your brothers in Islam, but not your own brother. So there has to be a distance over here. And notice how the wives of Prophet ﷺ, they are being told who are these men who would come to them. These were the Sahaba. And so don't think when you are talking to a man who has a very nice beard and has the Quran memorized and also leads Salah and the masjid, and masjid, and gives a khutbah, or is he's got some position in mosque or in some organization, and so their heart is very pure. No, they are normal human beings. Even though if they are scholar, they are nozbillah, they are not prophet, isn't it? They are human being after all. So you have to be careful. Save yourself and save them, right? Remember, control is within you. This is so empowering. The control is with you. It's about how you speak. You can either lead a man to fitna or you can keep him in his place, right? By how you speak to him. So be careful how you speak. So let's move to ayah number 33. 33, we see here, وَقَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ جَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى. Remain in your homes and do not display your beauty as it used to be displayed in the days of earlier ignorance, and establish salah and pay zakah and obey Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah only intends to keep all sorts of filth away from you. وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنكُمْ رِجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. O member of the family of Prophet ﷺ, and to make you pure through a perfect purification. So when we see وَقَرْنَا فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَ تَبَرُّجَ جَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى, and abide in your homes and do not display yourself, was the display of the former times of ignorance. The fact is not just for azwajul mutahhara, but for all women. It is essential that they make their homes their real centers. What is this ayah means? Basically, here women are being discouraged from being out in public, in the eyes of people, going around in busy areas unnecessarily. This doesn't mean that a woman just remain inside her house always and all the time. No. She may go, but when she does go, she should not go out dressed in a way that she dressed in her house. You understand? This doesn't mean that a woman is not allowed to go outside. She can go, but she should not go out in a way that she draws attention to herself. How? By dressing up in a particular way, or by speaking, by carrying herself in a particular way. No, she should refrain from tabarruj. But what is tabarruj? Tabarruj is from buruj, and you know buruj, we heard this like when we go to Dubai, you know buruj. So here buruj is a tower, alright? When you drive into a new city, before you even enter the city, what do you see from far? Do you see where the downtown is? Why is it that? You recognize instantly where the downtown is. Why? Because you see the tower, right? So from far, the tower, the building, noticeable. This is tabarruj, that the woman displays her adornment openly, highlighting herself, bringing attention to herself, that her makeup, her hair, her clothes, her shoes, her fragrance, everything is drawing attention to her. And remember, tabarruj is just not in the physical sense, meaning how a woman dresses up, but it also in her style of walking. You know, sometimes the pretense of walking and or making a sound, in her style of carrying herself, even her talking and her interacting with others, it should not be such that it draws attention, because sometimes it happens the women are covered, like you know, when they are completely covered from head to toe, all right, big jilbab, everything is covered, but the way the arms are, you know, hanging, the way they are talking to each other, being so frank in the open and slapping each other, giggling, making fun, you know, all like on the shoulders and giggling out in the open. I mean, this is also something that draws attention. So I'm not saying like, you know, in the everybody is there, all women are there, that's okay, but you know, you are in the public place and na mahram is there and everybody is watching. I'm talking about that. So remember, it's all about your attitude, right? It's not about a physical cloth only. Yes, the cloth is important, the hijab is important, but in addition to that, we also need to see how we carry ourselves out in public. Are we drawing unnecessary attention? Like for example, is a woman is constantly on phone talking so loudly and giggling. I mean, of course, people are going to wonder what is she talking about. Forget a woman, any person, isn't it? Even if it is a man, if they are talking like that, even everybody is going to be, everyone attention will be towards them, isn't it? So woman who has to be careful, especially when it comes to this matter. Likewise, for her to come in public, and she has adorned herself, is also something incorrect, because Allah says, "Wala tabarrujna." Don't do tabarruj. And for this tabarruj, you don't really need to step outside of your house. These days, you don't have to go out into the mall. These days, you don't have to go and work in a TV station or like a TV show or something like that. No, all of you need to do is take a photo and put online. That's the tabarruj. This can be done even from your phone. Tabarruj can be done through your phone today, even through your like in small gadgets, like it can be phone or iPad, whatever it may be. So we have to be careful that whatever we are doing, are we displaying our adornment in a way that we are attracting attention. All right, like putting on different social media sites and displaying ourselves. I had this thing and that thing. What for? To whom we are showing? This is tabarruj. This doesn't mean that a woman has to be covered up and she has to becoming unknown in society. I'm not saying that. No, you can be known, you can be well known, your name can be famous, people can benefit from good that you have to offer, just like Aisha radiallahu anha. But it doesn't mean that you do it in a way that Allah disapproves of it. Do not cross the limits. Tell me, Aisha radiallahu anha, was she famous? Of course. Did people come to her asking her questions, seeking knowledge from her? Yes. But do we learn that she's sitting outside, on top of the member and all the men are sitting in front of her? This is how she's teaching? No. Did she do that? No, she didn't. She didn't do that. Why? Because for a woman, remember, she can bring benefit to the community even while observing this ahkamat. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed for her, because when a woman put herself out there, when she displays her adornment, her beautification, highlighting herself outside in the public eye, then what happens? She's inviting fitna for herself. I mean, you don't know. Alhamdulillah, excuse me. So you don't know, reveal for her, because when a woman put herself out there, when she displays her adornment, her beautification, highlighting herself outside in public eye, then what happens? She's inviting fitna for herself. I mean, you don't know how people are looking at you. You don't know what they are thinking of you. You really didn't know. So it's best that you protect yourself. And notice over here what has been mentioned, that refrain from tabarruj of the former times, of the times of Jahiliyyah, meaning the time before Islam. Remember, Allah does not like tabarruj of a woman. He does not like it when a woman displays herself. Prophet ﷺ said, do not ask about the destruction of three types of people: a woman whose husband is absent, taking care of all her worldly needs, and she displays her adornment behind him, meaning that her husband is not around. All right, so what happens? She goes around outside displaying her adornment, right? She's taking advantage of that, seeking attention of other people, seeking attention of other men. You see, this is a fitna for women. All right, men, what is the fitna? The sexual desire. What is the woman's fitna? What is a woman fitna? Being noticed, right? Adorning themselves, displaying their beauty. I mean, it's amazing. You go to any party just looking at the length. So which woman will beautify themselves? Isn't it amazing? How long does it take guys to get dressed up? How long? Not very long. All they need to do is just put their clothes on. Khalas. Maximum put a watch on it or put something. That's it. But for women, yani every part of the body, from eyelashes, eyebrows to the eyelid, cheeks, yani every part of the body, this is a test for women. You understand? It's not haram. It's just a test that how do you fulfill this need of yourself in a lawful way? How do you do that? That is the test. We see very, very few women who do tabarruj will make it to paradise. Prophet ﷺ said in hadith, we learned that in Musnad Ahmad, that once Umar bin Quzaima, he said, we were in journey, we were traveling for Hajj or Umrah with the Umar bin As radiallahu anhu, and when we reach a place near Makkah, which is Marzaharan, a woman was sitting on her camel and her hand was on the saddle. Her hand were on the saddle, and Umar bin As radiallahu anhu, he changed his direction, he went another way. So we went along with him, and he said that once we were with the Prophet ﷺ here in the same place, then we saw a few crows, in which was a white crow also, whose beak and feet were red. So imagine black crows, and in them is a crow that is all white. Just the feet and beak are what? They are red. Prophet ﷺ said, in Jannah only such women will enter who are like this crow among this flock of crows, meaning very few, rare, because majority of the women, they fall in this fitna, don't they? Many of us do that even while wearing hijab. What happened to us? We forgot our etiquette. When we are in front of men, the way we talk, we laugh, the way we chat with them, as if they are full of they are not mahram, and the way we talk, we keep forgetting to whom we are talking. Prophet ﷺ said, none that in Jannah only such women will enter who are like the crows among their flocks of crows, meaning very few. Hassan al-Basri, he said, the lady who was sitting, because of whom Umar bin As changed his direction, she had in both her hand rings and adornment, meaning her hands were decorated, alright, and she had put both her hands out. So you imagine, like nails with paints, like nail polish and rings, henna, whatsoever, then of course they are deliberately being shown, and then they are displayed outside. This is what? Tabarruj. That here my hands are decked out and all I can show, so here you go, right? This is sad. I mean, we are wearing hijab, and the part that is exposed, we highlight that even more. Then we are doing more tabarruj, you understand? Because if everything is covered and only part which is shown is highlighted, is decorated even more, then what is going to happen? It is going to attract even more attraction. So remember, zina has to be covered instead of being displayed in front of men. We have to be very careful about this. So when a woman has to go to public place, then what is it that she has to do? She has to cover her zina. I mean, a hadith, they don't tell us that a woman has to leave zina. I mean, Aisha radiallahu anha, she is going with Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam on a journey, and that journey the Sahaba are going to fight a battle, and Aisha radiallahu anha, what does she take with herself? A necklace. I mean, seriously, how often do we wear necklace under our hijab? Like, honestly, it's rare, right? Because it gets stuck in the hijab and everything. I mean, generally we like to take these things off when we have to have our hijab on for a whole day. But imagine, Aisha radiallahu anha is going on a journey, and she is borrowing a necklace so that she looks nice. This is something natural within the woman's nature. But when you go out in public place, when you are coming in the attention of men, they have to look at you, because it's something that is understood. Then a woman must adopt simplicity over there, not by abandoning her zina, but by concealing her zina. Just make a correction. No one is abandoning zina, but concealing it. It was underneath, like how Aisha radiallahu anha, she was wearing jewelry, inside her jalbab. the wives of Prophet and establish prayer and give zakah and obey Allah and His Messenger. The wives of Prophet are being addressed over here. That gives zakah and obey Allah and His Messenger, meaning just because he is your husband, don't forget to treat him as a prophet as well. He's a prophet, right? And he is after all the messenger of Allah. So whatever he commands you as a prophet, then make sure you obey him. Allah intends only to remove from you the impurity of the sin, O people of Prophet household, and purify you with extensive purification. وَأَطِيعْنَا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمْ رِجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. So here, family of Prophet ﷺ, but this ayah people misquote and misunderstand about Ahl Bayt. Why we are all these commands given here to oppress the best women? No. Not let them come to the forefront to prevent their advancement, their progress. No way. I mean, we see Aisha radiallahu anha, who does not know her name, which Muslim doesn't know her name. Like seriously, Hafsa radiallahu anha, which Muslim does know her name. I mean, this is something that is understood. The wives of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are well respected in their contribution for their knowledge, for their sacrifices, for whatever they did. They are appreciated, they are well known, but they did not offer their services by compromising on haya. They never compromised on haya, on modesty. No, they did not. And this is something we need to learn from them. Remember, because you see, for a woman to display herself, tabarruj, this is something that attracts attention immediately. Like within seconds, within no time, you put a picture of beautiful woman on a front cover page. On a front cover page of a magazine, right? For example, you cover photo, right? You just put that up. What happens? People will instantly click on it. Who is this person? Do I know them, right? It happens. But there is no picture, no face. Then people have to look at you, okay? What is this person saying? Who are they? What are they even doing? Then, okay, read what they write. Then check what they say. This is what really promoting the work and not the person. This is what we need to think about. Let's not be concerned about promoting ourselves. We need to be concerned about promoting the message of Deen. We need to become real contributors, not by displaying ourselves, but by highlighting our work, by doing our work with excellence. And this is what we need to do. So over here we see the reason that is given, that the hikmah behind all of this command is that Allah wishes to keep the family of Prophet ﷺ clean. He wishes to keep the wives of Prophet ﷺ pure. Because you see, when something is displayed, when it is freely publicized, then does it lose dignity also? Yeah, it does. I mean, think about it. Have you ever seen those bushes with advertisement and that some of the things when you see some huge vehicles which ads on it, do you watch them? Or I'm talking about the big billboards when you're passing by. Do you notice that? You do, right? The same way. So even for small ad, we display like a beautiful woman and everybody is watching that. And it is like a, apparent, isn't it? So the fact is, when something is freely publicized, it loses its dignity, right? Why is it that certain products, when they are to be released, not even an image is leaked out, is sent, is shown? Why? Because eventually after months, then an image is released, then finally a product is displayed. Why is it that? Because eyes even stain, because remember, sight even stain. It does. That's why Jannah, there are blessings that no eyes has seen, no eyes has ever seen. So we see over here that the dirty eyes of men, they can set up upon a woman, that this can be source of shar for her. It's kind of filth. So the wives of Prophet ﷺ are ordered over here to preserve their dignity. How? By keeping themselves protected from the filthy eyes of men. Cover yourself, guard yourself, protect yourself in a way that the dirty eyes of women don't even set upon you. And especially if a woman goes out displaying herself, then this is worse. So here in ayah number 33 we have seen in the detail, remain in your home and do not display your beauty as it used to be displayed in the days of Jahiliyyah, ignorance. And after that, hukum for waqimus salata wa atuz zakat, establish salah and zakah, and wa ati'na Allah wa rasuluh, obey Allah and His Messenger. And Allah intends, innama yuridullah, Allah intends to keep all sorts of filth away from you, our members of family of the Prophet, and to make you pure through a perfect purification. And some of the different sect of people, they take this ayah in a different manner and they code it for Ahle Bayt, only the family of Prophet ﷺ, like all the wives of Prophet ﷺ and their own family, but they code for the Panjatul Pak. That is incorrect. And they add few people and they remove few people. Let's not talk about it because it was not authentic though. So this is the ayah number 33, and in ayah number 34 there are few more hukum are given in 34, and inshallah we'll do later ayah number 34. Jazakallah khairan kaseera. So in ayah number 34, let's see what it says. In ayah number 34, waskunna ma yutla fi buyutikunna min ayatillahi wal hikmah innallaha kana latifan khabira. And remember what is recited in your houses of the verses of Allah and wisdom. Indeed, Allah is ever subtle and acquainted, meaning He is aware of all things, even the most hidden secrets, even the most hidden moments when a woman would display her beauty. Allah knows, Allah is watching, right? Like for example, it's possible that a woman is in a place where her father is not there, her husband not there, but parents are there, her parents are not there, but she has a chance to do tabarruj. So and she does it. Now this is what deceiving who? Ourselves, because Allah is watching us, isn't it? So we have to be careful regarding that matter, like what we are doing. Tabarruj, like what we discussed previously. What is tabarruj? I explained you in the previous class. Here we see, remember, when we wear hijab, we don't do it because of our men. We don't do it because of our men is forcing brother or your own husband. No, it's for the sake of Allah. Like some people, they have to correct themselves. They are doing just forcefully because their family are forcing. No, never ever do that. Yes, it might make them happy, even make them angry. It happens. Some men, they feel happy if the woman wear hijab. Some men, they get angry and upset. We are doing for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So never do forcefully. Do it with your heart for the sake of Allah. So in obedience to Allah, then we need to do it whether we are going anywhere or like in your family or publicly. You will take hijab in a nice manner. So over here we see this ayah that Allah tells women of Prophet ﷺ that when you are at home, what should you do? What should you do? Remember what is recited in your house of the verses of Allah. Meaning recite Quran. Learn the Quran and wisdom. What is wisdom? The teaching of Prophet ﷺ. Because you see, earlier it was mentioned, remain in your houses. Now for a woman, yes, her real center is her house, because in order to look after the family obligation that are upon her, she has to be at home. But never ever misunderstand this and think that this means a woman should be at home and serve her home, spending her life in homemaking and hairstyling, clothing, shopping, children rearing. No, these are all part of the life. But because of them, excuse me, she must not forget zikr of Allah. And she must not forget ilm, ta'aleem, learning, teaching, hikmah, Quran as well as hikmah, the sunnah, the hadith. And here she has to keep all of these things alive in her house. How is a woman meant to keep the recitation of the Quran, meaning of the teaching of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, alive in her house? How? By being engaged with it herself. Because if she is not engaged with herself, like Quran and Sunnah, she will forget. She is going to forget to read Quran. Will her children read Quran? No way. So then she is so concerned about keeping her house clean, and she will put the TV on so that children are glued to the TV so that she can get her work done. And within few weeks, the children are hooked to the TV. And when you read Quran to them, or when you open Quran before them, they don't want it. They don't want it at all. Why? Because the mother herself disconnected from zikr of Allah. You know what we have really misunderstood these verses? People go to extreme saying, oh, these verses are only for the wives of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Azwaji Mutahhara. They have got nothing to do with us. Or they go to another extreme that, look, women have to be at home. Women have to be at home. No. So you know that even when you go to learn Quran or teach Quran, you shouldn't be doing that. No, this is not. What it means, we need to understand this ayah by looking at the lives of wives of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what they do. How did they implement these verses, these ayahs? You see, zakarna means remember it yourself and also mention it. What does zikr mean? Remember yourself and also mention. Make mention of it, right? So this means read Quran yourself. Learn the teaching of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam yourself in your house, and also make them known. Meaning once you have learned them, then teach them on. And Aisha radiallahu anha, we see that she did not just retire to her home, just remain there dressing up, and all her time was spent in just dressing up or looking after her house. I mean, if the Prophet ﷺ didn't allow a soft mattress in her house, what do you think was the state of that house? What kind of house was it? Decorated top to bottom? What happens to a woman when she stays in her house for a week? Or if she told your house is your priority, what she will do? There is not a shelf, there is not a corner, except that it is decorated with something, right? Then every day she has to clean, every other day she has to look after things, right? Then one is broken, one needs to be replaced, one she is bored of, and then money is going into this. Her attention is going into the what is it that wives of Prophet ﷺ did. What did they do with their lives? They taught Quran and Sunnah. They learned it themselves and they taught it. Hafsa radiallahu anha, she had mushaf. Can you imagine? She had the honor of having the mushaf. It's known as mushaf of Hafsa radiallahu anha, because Umar radiallahu anhu, when he had Quran written and then copy sent to different parts of Muslim world, the original copy was kept with Hafsa radiallahu anha. And then when Usman radiallahu anhu became Khalifa, he borrowed the mushaf from Hafsa radiallahu anhu, had more copies of it made, then he sent them across the Muslim world. She had mushaf. Can you imagine a lady? What does it mean then? She know the mushaf like other people did not, like men did not, because if they know, then they wouldn't ask her for the copy. They wouldn't ask her for that copy if they knew it. So her level of knowledge of the book of Allah, Quran, was really greater than that of many men of that time. Aisha radiallahu anha, men would go to her to ask her matters of deen. So for a woman, remember, for her to be a teacher, that is an excellent thing to do. It's like the best profession. Why? Because this is something that she can do in every stage of her life, in whatever situation she is in. Single, married, pregnant, nursing, 3 children, 5 children, 10 children, doesn't matter, grandkids, moving, whatever job, no matter what's going on in their life, but still she's connected with Quran, teaching till the end of life. And remember that teaching the deen, it's not just in classroom, it can even be through writing, it can even be on one of the bases online. Whatever the skill you have, you can do it. You can fulfill in the way of Allah, and well what skill you have, you can spend in the way of Allah. And what is it that we have? Quran. But if we don't give the Quran to people, then how are they going to know? So never think that a Muslim woman, your obligation is just to stay home, dressed up, cook and clean and sleep. No, that is all part of the life. But in addition to that, وَاذْكُرْنَ مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ مِنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَالْحِكْمَةِ. If any woman had the right to just take it easy, it would have been the wives of Prophet ﷺ, right? Because they were told, you stay at home. So for a woman who is told stay at home, and Aisha radiallahu anha had no children, Hafsa radiallahu anha, no children, right? So imagine with the women with no children, they are at home. What do you think a woman like this would do? What do you think she would do? Where would her time go? In social events, sitting in front of TV, or talking to friends on internet, dressing up, shopping around? No. وَاسْكُنَّ مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتَكُنَّ مِنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَالْحِكْمَةِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ لَطِيفًا خَبِيرًا. So this is the best way one can spend life, in the way of Allah. Recite the Quran, and yutla, we won't say tilawa for any other thing except Quran. Tilawa is for only Quran. Fi buyutikunna min ayatillahi wal hikmah. Teaching Quran and hikmah over here is sunnah, hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inna Allaha kana latifan khabira. Allah knows everything. So let's abide the laws of Allah. We have to spend in the way of Allah. Of course, we have to take care of our life, our children, but we have to take this Quran and we have to learn, implement and spread the word of Allah. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Being a wife, being a mother, or being a daughter, being yourself, just like Ummahatul Mu'mineen, we will do the same thing. They are the role models. They are mothers for all of us. Jazakallah khairan kaseer.